It was midnight when I realized I was no longer a wife, but a stranger in my own home. His arms once wrapped around me like protection, yet now they belong to someone else. That night I learned love doesn't always fade, it betrays. Quietly and completely. Welcome to Unseen Romance, where hidden truths of love and heartbreak unfold. Subscribe and join us, because every story leaves behind lessons we never expect to learn. I met James when the world still felt gentle. His smile carried warmth, not just on his lips, but in the way his eyes lingered like they had found home. He wasn't the kind of man who swept a room with charm. He was quieter, steady, the kind who made promises without speaking. And that steadiness drew me in. We were not wealthy, but we were rich in the currency of love. Nights of shared coffee on the balcony. Mornings of hurried breakfasts and soft kisses before work. Every ordinary moment felt extraordinary because it was ours. We dreamed aloud, the kind of dreams that made us laugh when life felt too small to contain them. What I remember most is the way he looked at me when he thought I wasn't watching. That gaze, the kind that made me feel like the only woman in the world, was my fortress. I believed it would never break. I wore his last name like a crown, certain it would always guard me. Every choice, every sacrifice, was shaped around us, our marriage, our future, our family. I had no reason to imagine that love could sour, that loyalty could crack. But the truth about love is this: it rarely collapses in one blow. It unravels slowly, in threads too fine to notice, until one day the tapestry is gone, and all that remains is fabric frayed beyond repair. The cracks appeared quietly, disguised as routine. "I'll be late tonight," James said, his voice too casual, his eyes refusing to meet mine. I told myself it was work. After all, wasn't he ambitious? Wasn't this for us? But then came the absences. Dinner's gone cold. A side of the bed left untouched. Laughter replaced by silence. Even his scent changed, not the familiar cologne I once knew, but something new, something foreign. I searched his face for answers, but his eyes were elsewhere, as though I had become invisible in my own home. I asked him gently at first, then with the urgency of someone drowning. His answers cut like glass, short, defensive, rehearsed. I convinced myself I was overthinking, clinging desperately to the illusion of stability. But the silence between us grew louder than words. Nights felt endless, my mind rehearsing every possibility but the one I feared most. Love, I thought, was strong enough to withstand distance. But I was wrong! The truth is, betrayal never arrives with fireworks. It slips in like a shadow, soft and unnoticed, until you realize the light has already gone. The truth did not arrive gently. It struck like lightning, splitting everything I thought I knew. His phone lit up one evening while he showered. A message glowed, unashamed. "Last night was unforgettable. I miss you already." My hands trembled. My heart pounded so hard I thought the walls could hear. And when I read her name, I froze. She wasn't a stranger. She was someone I knew. A co-worker of James's, one I had welcomed into my home, laughed with, trusted. I confronted him that night, my voice breaking with each word. "Is it true? Do you love her?" He didn't deny it. He didn't even flinch. His silence told me everything, but his words carved me hollow. "Yes, I choose her." No apology. No hesitation. Just a decision, my husband choosing another woman over me. It wasn't just betrayal. It was annihilation. He wasn't stolen. He was given away freely by the very man who once promised me forever. Our house became unrecognizable. Where there was once laughter, there was now echoing silence. James packed his things quickly, methodically, as though our years together were items on a checklist to be discarded. The children watched with wide, confused eyes. "Why isn't Dad staying? Did we do something wrong?" Their innocence shattered against the sharp edges of adult choices. I wanted to protect them from the truth, but how do you shield a heart from what it already knows? He kissed them goodbye, but the gesture was hollow. They sensed it too, the way his eyes avoided mine, the way his hands no longer lingered. In chasing his desire, James believed he had found freedom. But freedom without loyalty is only abandonment. The children stopped asking when he would return. Their drawings no longer included him. The home that once carried his laughter now carried his absence. And still, his shadow lingered, his jacket on the chair, his empty toothbrush holder. Ghosts of a love that no longer lived. By choosing her, James didn't just lose me. He lost us. A family is not rebuilt once trust has been betrayed. It collapses, leaving only rubble for the innocent to stumble over. At first, James glowed with the thrill of his new life. Pictures with her, dinners, trips, it looked like freedom, like happiness. But passion burns fast, and soon his fire became smoke. The children no longer answered his calls. His once proud laughter grew thin, forced. Friends whispered that he seemed restless, distracted, a man who had traded diamonds for glass. And in quiet moments, I no regret visited him like an uninvited guest, reminding him of what he had thrown away. Meanwhile, I rebuilt myself from the ruins he left. Slowly, painfully, but with a strength I never thought I had. I learned that silence could be peace, not punishment. That love can exist within oneself, even when it no longer comes from another. Regret devoured him, but it could not restore what was gone. He lost a wife, a family, a home. And I gained something he never expected: freedom. In the end, love didn't abandon me. He did. Regret may have consumed him, but peace found me. Closure isn't revenge or return. It is rising stronger from the ashes of a fire someone else set. This was my story of love, betrayal, and healing. If it touched you, subscribe to Unseen Romance. Stay close because our next story holds a twist that may leave you breathless.